Russia's territorial aggression will top the agenda today as President Obama meets with European and NATO leaders in Belgium. But in the Netherlands Tuesday, he dismissed Russia's influence and said he's got bigger security concerns.
Russia is a regional power that is threatening some of its immediate neighbors, not out of strength, but out of weakness. They don't pose the #1 national security threat to the United States. I continue to be much more concerned when it comes to our security with the prospect of a nuclear weapon going off in Manhattan.
The specific threat he described in that comment drew a reaction from this morning's newspapers in New York. Major Garrett is traveling with the president on the week-long trip. He is in Brussels. Major, good morning.
Good morning. While the president downplayed the national security interests for America at play in Ukraine, he conceded Russian forces control Crimea, will not be ejected by force, and therefore that stalemate will be very hard to reverse. Mr. Obama also warned Russian President Vladimir Putin the United States will use military force if Russian forces attack any NATO member nation. Ukraine and neighboring Moldova are not members of NATO, but the Baltic states of Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia are, and their leaders are increasingly nervous about Russian military intentions. While in Brussels, Mr. Obama will confer with NATO leaders about beefing up security activities in those Baltic states and NATO member nations on the Russian frontier. Mr. Obama said Russia is still weighing its military options and using forces massed on the Ukrainian border to intimidate the transitional government in Kiev. Later today, in the signature speech of his week-long trip through Europe, the president will describe Russia's threat to international law, the need for unity between the United States and Europe, and once again appeal to Russia not to advance its military forces any further and to seek a negotiated settlement in Crimea. Charlie and Clarissa.